What's up, guys? So today we're going to talk about upgrading from a V-belt setup to a Serpentine system on an old school small block Chevy. So here's a look at my old V-belt setup. Now I actually really like this setup because I didn't run into any clearance issues with my hood or my radiator hose. They also work really well with factory heads that only have one bolt on the passenger side. That's actually the main reason I went with this setup off a 94 Suburban. You can see on the left it actually mounts to the block instead of just mounting to the head. So I'm in the middle of the thrash to get everything ready before the season starts. I just resealed my oil pan, so while the RTV is drying, I thought this was the perfect time to replace the water pump. Alright, so now I'm just going to torque all these water pump bolts to 30 foot-pounds, and it'll be ready to go. Last but not least, it comes with a plug to plug up this hole in the front of the water pump that is, I believe, for your heater core. Since I'm not running one, I'm just going to plug it up. Alright guys, so it is a new day. The engine is back in the car, and it is time to install these brackets for good. So let's get started on that. So now I'm coming to you from way in the future. It got down to crunch time and I got a little spotty on the filming, but here's where we're at now. You can see I've got the whole Serpentine setup installed. I've actually been to 3 drifting events so far this year, and the system has worked flawlessly. My only complaint on the whole deal is these are the world's tallest accessory brackets. They're from a truck, so I guess that's to be expected, but I actually ended up having to make some dents in my hood to so that I could clear the tensioner and the alternator, so that's kind of a bummer. But as far as the actual functioning of the system, it works great. And you can see here I have quite a bit more clearance than I had before now that I have the thick fans. One other thing to note with this is that the normal upper radiator hose that you'll get will either come straight out or kind of come off to the side, and I wasn't able to get either of those to work on this. I actually had to get this, I believe this is called just a swivel top or something like that. It's like a 360-degree swivel where this plate here kind of just holds this down with it, and this top piece has an O-ring in it. So what I ended up having to do is go all the way around here to hook up to my radiator, which wasn't really too big of a deal. I actually think that really keeps everything nicely out of the way. And in the past, when I had the other setup, it kind of came out at somewhat of an angle here, so the radiator hose would actually touch my hood when I would close it, and I couldn't get one that was at the perfect angle to come up out of here and also go down to get into the radiator. So from that perspective, I would actually consider this to be a win. Another thing I liked is that this alternator is basically a 2-wire hookup. The actual plug here, the exciter wire, is just one single wire. I think it does everything else internally, and then you have your one power wire. But I looked at some plugs for other systems and they had like 3 or 4 wires, and I really like this one because it was so simple to hook up. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.